What do you seek? Do tell, what is this impetuous urge supposed to be? It permeates the world like a ferment, and a storm of books inundates all peoples. Scholars delve into old writings, searching, pondering, until spiritually exhausted. Prophets emerge to warn, to predict. Suddenly, from all sides, new light is being feverishly spread. So it rages over the troubled soul of humanity at this time, not refreshing or revitalizing, but scorching, draining, absorbing the last strength that still remains to the broken-hearted in this gloominess of the present time. Here and there also stirs a murmur, a whisper, of a growing expectation of something coming. Every nerve is restless, strained with unconscious longing. It seethes and surges, and over everything lies a kind of gloomily brooding torpor, bearing disaster. What must it yield? Confusion, lack of courage, and ruin were the dark layer that now spiritually engulfs the planet Earth, not powerfully torn apart. That layer which, with the viscous tenacity of a filthy morass, absorbs and chokes every free ascending light thought before it has become strong, and which, with the terrible silence of a swamp, suppresses, disintegrates, and destroys every good volition, even while still a seed, before an act could arise thereof. But the cry of the seekers for light, which could contain the power to break through the sludge, is turned aside. It is lost beneath an impenetrable vault that just those who imagine they are helping once established with diligence. They offer stones instead of bread. Look at the innumerable books. The human spirit only becomes exhausted through them, not animated. And this is the proof of the barrenness of everything offered. For that which exhausts the spirit is never right. Spiritual bread immediately refreshes. Truth revitalizes. And light animates. Simple people must yet despair when they see what walls are erected around the beyond through the so-called psychic science. Who among the simple is supposed to grasp the learned sentences? Who can grasp the strange expressions? Should the beyond then be solely for psychic scientists? One speaks of God thereby. Should a university be established in order, first of all, to attain the abilities to recognize the concept of the Godhead? Where is this madness, which for the most part is only rooted in ambition to lead? Like drunkards, the readers and listeners stagger from one place to the other, unsteady, not free within themselves, one-sided, since they have been diverted from the simple path. Listen to this, despondent ones. Look up, you serious seekers. The way to the highest lies ready before every human being. Scholarliness is not the gate thereto. Did Christ Jesus, this great example on the true path to the light, choose his disciples among the learned Pharisees, among the scribes? He took them out of the simple and the plain, because they did not have to struggle against this great error that the way to the light is tedious to learn and must be difficult. This thought is the greatest enemy of man. It is a lie. Therefore, turn back from all scientism, just where it concerns the most sacred in man, which needs to be fully grasped. Leave it aside, because science, as a shoddy effort of the human brain, is piecework and must remain piecework. Consider, how should the laboriously learned sciences lead to the Godhead? For what, after all, is knowledge? Knowledge is what the brain can conceive. Yet how narrowly limited is the perceptive capacity of the brain, which remains firmly bound to space and time. Even eternity and the appreciation of infinity, a human brain cannot grasp. Just that which is inseparably linked with the Godhead. But the brain stands silent before that incomprehensible power which streams through all that exists, from out of which the brain itself draws its activity. The power which everyone perceives daily, hourly, each moment, as something quite a matter of course, which even science has always acknowledged as existing, and yet which one seeks in vain to grasp and comprehend with the brain, therefore with the knowledge and intellect. So inadequate is the activity of a brain, the foundation stone and instrument of science. And this limitation also extends quite naturally through the works that it builds, therefore through all science itself. Therefore, science is indeed good for following up, for the better understanding, classification, and arrangement of all that it receives ready-made from the preceding power of creation. Yet it must unconditionally fail when it wants to elevate itself for the purpose of leading or criticizing, so long as it binds itself so firmly as hitherto to the intellect, therefore to the perceptive capacity of the brain. For this reason, scholarliness, and also that humanity that adjusts itself to it, constantly clings to details, whereas every human being bears the great, inconceivable whole within himself as a gift, and is fully capable of attaining the noblest and highest without laborious learning. Therefore, away with this unnecessary torture of a spiritual enslavement. Not for nothing does the great Master call out to us, "Become like children." He who bears within himself the firm volition for what is good, and endeavors to give purity to his thoughts, has already found the way to the highest. All else will then be added unto him. This requires neither books, nor spiritual exertion, neither asceticism, nor isolation. He will be healthy in body and in soul, liberated from all pressure of morbid pondering. For every exaggeration is dangerous. You are to be human beings, not hothouse plants which, through one-sided cultivation, succumb to the first breath of wind. Wake up, look around you, listen within yourselves. This alone is able to open the way. Do not heed the disputes of the churches. The great bringer of truth, Christ Jesus, the embodiment of divine love, did not ask for denominations. What are denominations today anyway? A binding of the free spirit of man, an enslavement of the spark of God dwelling within you, dogmas that seek to constrain the work of the Creator and also His great love within forms pressed into being by the human mind, which implies a belittling of the divine, a systematic disparaging. Such things repulse every serious seeker, since he can never thereby experience the great reality in himself, as a result of which his longing for the truth always becomes more hopeless, and he finally despairs of himself and of the world. Therefore, wake up, shatter dogmatic walls within yourselves, tear off the bandage, so that the pure light of the highest may penetrate to you undiminished. Your spirit will then joyfully soar into the heights, jubilantly sensing all the great love of the Father, which knows no limitations of the earthly intellect. You will finally know that you are a part of this love. You will grasp it effortlessly and completely. You will unite with it and thus gain new strength daily and hourly as a gift, which makes your ascent out of the confusion a matter of course.